Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 8th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have this lizard spirit says, dream the world into being. You have this hummingbird spirit says, be here, be now. Every single reading that I've done this week has been about your dreams. Probably Neptune going retrograde, I would say. Neptune retrograde is a great time to work on a dream. It's kind of like when Neptune is moving forward, it's a very dreamy time. But the problem with Neptune is that it's like the turbulent ocean. It is like being in the middle of an ocean that is impossibly deep with a million hurricanes above your head. So it's like you see the dream, but actually getting there and actually accomplishing it is a little bit more challenging than you probably think. But then when Neptune goes retrograde, it's a great time to kind of take action on those things that you've been dreaming about for a little while now and try to manifest them in reality. So I think it's a great time for everyone to work on their dreams. You also have Saturn right there with Neptune in Pisces, and I think that it's an even better time with Saturn because Saturn is like if you get your butt moving, then you can manifest whatever you want. So, again, I think it's time to work on a dream. You also have this hummingbird spirit that says, be here, be now. So I think being present is always a good idea. The hummingbird kind of says that you've been on a long journey, and now you are getting to the end of a long journey for your reward. Hummingbirds have very long migrations, and it just kind of says that you could be receiving rewards for the work that you've been doing. You have the Four Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Devil. Some of you could be thinking about marriage because we go down this way from the Four Wands to you, the Justice card, to the Knight of Cups. So if you want love, there definitely could be like a little bit of a knight in shining armor coming in for you here, or a commitment. You could be forming up a commitment with a person in the future. The Four Wands could also be you just committing to your dream or to accomplishing something great. You have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is about independence and being very independent, being able to take care of yourself and, do the things that you want to do. It's also like pre-Empress energy, so it could be you entering into a very abundant time. I do feel like money is changing for you. You even have the Five of Pentacles at the end, but it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. And it also came out with the Seven of Cups, so those two cards came out together. And again, the Seven of Cups would be your dream. So I think a lot of you are dreaming of ways to improve your finances or to make more money, and that's what you could be working on at this time. The Devil shows up here, and again, a lot of people have had the Devil, I've noticed this week as well, and again, I do think it could be a good time to remove toxic habits or to work on those things that like slow you down or get in the way. I look on a very simple level. I feel like the Devil sometimes just represents things that steal our energy, which could be anything. It could be watching too much TV. It could be, not taking care of yourself or whatever the case may be. And I feel like the Devil is saying, it would be a really good time for you to look at your habits and make sure that you're adopting healthy habits. With the Four Wands, you have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I like the King of Pentacles, especially for those of you that want love. The King of Pentacles is someone who wants something permanent. The King of Pentacles is very stable, hardworking, successful. So you could be attracting a person who is very stable, hardworking, successful, a person who really puts in the work to do those things. Again, I look at him as someone who wants like a long-term connection as well. So again, if you're hoping for something more long-term, definitely could be a King of Pentacles type person. Even we go down to this Knight of Cups and over to the Page of Pentacles. So this could be an earth sign, or it could be a person who has a lot of earth in their chart. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the World. So accomplishing great things. And actually, going straight across, we have the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Cups, which would be your dream. So I think that, again, it's time for you to kind of ground your dream in reality. And we even have the Seven of Wands here. The Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. Like when you truly believe something deep down inside, that's when you will manifest it. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be manifesting great things, and you could be bringing them into the world. The Four of Wands would kind of say that it's time to complete something. I look at the Four of Wands as a finish line card. It says you're kind of wrapping up one stage of life and celebrating on the other stage, moving to the next stage of life. So if you have anything that you need to wrap up, it might be a good time to do that. With the devil showing up here, I can't get it. You have the hangman. So again, I think that maybe you're in this position of like learning. Sometimes I think the hangman with the devil can represent analysis paralysis, just being in this position where you're learning and learning and learning, but you're not necessarily doing anything about it. He's sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs on the hangman, and he's done this so that he can gain enlightenment. But now that he's gained the answers, it's time for him to start moving towards his dream. And that's what I feel for you with the hangman. It's like saying that you've learned as much as you can. So it's like you're done learning, and now it's time to take action. And so I feel that the habit that you have learned is learning, which there's nothing wrong with learning. You can keep learning. I just think it's saying, take action. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this chop wood card, which is like get to work, and you have this milk and honey card. I feel like you could be feeling that, I think that you could be having lazy days. That milk and honey card is about enjoying yourself too much and kind of getting high on your own supply here, Libra. And I don't necessarily feel this is bad, but what I would say is like I would try to, do one thing every single day. Like even on days where I don't feel like doing readings, I always sit down and do one, right? And then one usually turns into 4 at least, because it's like once I get that first one out, that I'm kind of in the zone, and it gets me moving. So even on days where I don't feel like doing something, I always say like, okay, I'm just gonna do one, and that'll be it. But then I always do more. So I think if you could get into that mindset, then you'll probably get a lot more accomplished. And the other thing is, if you need a day off, take a day off, right? So I think that the milk and honey card is more encouraging balance in work. You have the 7 of Wands, the Justice card, and the High Priestess. The 7 of Wands is about drawing a line in the sand, and it's about boundaries, but like the type of boundaries where you say, this is what I'm willing to accept in my life. This is not what I'm willing to accept in my life, and, sticking to those boundaries. But the thing with boundaries is that we have to have boundaries with ourselves. It's like if we want more money, we have to do something to do that, to make more money. And the 7 of Wands says, obviously, if you're watching Netflix all day with the devil, you're not going to make more money, right? So with the 7 of Wands, we have to put that boundary up, and we have to say, okay, I will work for 4 hours in the morning on my project, and then I'll watch Netflix, right? So I don't think it's about like elimination. I think that never works. I've tried it my whole entire life, right? I've tried completely eliminating things from my life and saying, okay, I'm going to just work for 8 hours and I'm going to get these things done. Never works, right? So I think what works better is saying to yourself like, okay, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time to focused work where I remove all distractions, and then I'll reward myself after. And, that's what I feel like is going on here. There's like a lot of, basically success porn online where people say like, oh, I work, 900 hours a day and I do all this stuff. It's like I've met a lot of super successful people in my life, and a lot of them don't do much, I will say. So again, I think that, for social media, I think people have been convinced that like, oh, these people work all these long hours and they have to work super hard. But like I have found through meeting a lot of these people, it's not true, right? So I think that this is what is true is I think they set up certain amounts of time where they say, for this amount of time, I'm going to do focused, dedicated work, and then I'm going to go screw around and do whatever I want. So I feel like the 7 of Wands is talking about you having boundaries with yourself and saying, like, okay, I'm going to get this done, and then I'm going to do what I want. You have the Justice card, which is you. Whenever you show up as the Major Arcana version of yourself, it kind of just puts you in a position of power and strength. And it just allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I do feel like some of you are just in a strong position. You have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about trusting your intuition. The High Priestess says you are very intuitive. You have a lot of Pisces cards here, so some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. I also just feel that, again, you're just kind of working with your intuition. I'm not really getting much there. On the 7 of Wands, you have the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. I think having those boundaries with yourself, what this is saying is that putting up those boundaries is going to be the quickest way for you to see improvement. The 6 of Swords is an improvement. They're moving on to calmer shores. They're moving to a much calmer, better place. But again, they're having to do something. They're having to move on from the past. With the Justice card, you have the Ace of Pentacles. I've noticed a lot of aces this week, and also the first week of July as well. So there could be a lot of really good opportunities coming in for people. I do feel the universe is kind of bringing people opportunities before the end of the year when we have Mars going retrograde. And Mars is going retrograde in Leo. And Leo is our vitality. It is kind of like our life. So I've been encouraging everyone, if you have something that you want to get started, like get started now before the retrograde. That way, if you get started now, it'll carry you through the retrograde. You won't even have to worry about it. But if you have any projects or business ideas, like set up the habits now. Like say to yourself, I'm going to work on my side hustle, for 2 hours every morning or for an hour every morning. It doesn't even have to be that big of a commitment. But if you make the commitment now and you set that habit up now, you will carry through the end of the year into next year, and you'll be fine. And so that's what I would do. With the High Priestess, you have the Seven of Swords. I feel like you need to really trust your feelings at this time as well. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. Really, Seven of Swords is a good card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. And so the Seven of Swords says, if one way to do something doesn't work, try something else. But the kind of the Seven of Swords to me in your reading, especially having the Devil right next to it, it's saying if you meet a person, and this does not even have to be in love, this could be in work and business and pretty much anything you do, and if you get a weird feeling based off of them, then you need to trust your instincts. You need to trust that feeling because it's probably correct. Again, every time I didn't trust my feelings, I got screwed. So again, I think that this is saying don't doubt how you feel about a person. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this wolf card. It says cunning and stealth. You have this bear that says strength and resourcefulness. So I feel you are developing a lot of strength, resourcefulness, cunning and stealth. Even the Seven of Swords is a card of cunning and stealth. It is a card of where he is stealing these swords from an army in the background so that they can't be used against him in battle. This kind of is telling me that your actions, I would say for the rest of the summer, really, might I'm not saying you should be sneaking around and being sneaky. That's not what we're talking about. But what I would say is it might be a good time to work and be quiet about it, right? So especially if you're, building a project, starting a business, or working on something, it might be a good time to kind of keep those things to yourself right now. And then when you have a result, then you can start talking about it. And I feel that's what this is really saying. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. The Four of Pentacles is a card of financial stability, and I do feel a lot of you have been working on financial stability or creating more financial stability in your life, so that's good. I really don't have anything else to say there. I feel like you're just becoming more financially stable. You have the Nine of Cups. This is the energy I would be focusing on. This is an energy of fulfillment, happiness. He doesn't really need for anything. And so he is also in this position of receiving. He is about to have a feast. That's the whole story behind the card. And he's just sitting there waiting for the feast to show up. So I feel that being in this kind of more receptive mode, as people say, would be good for you. He also has those 9 cups behind him. And there's a way to read the Nine of Cups where those cups kind of represent his energy, and he is the one that is determining who he gives that energy to. And I feel that you are in this good place of, protecting your energy and making sure that you give it to the right people. So that's what I would do there. You have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you here. I feel like I kind of feel like you could have a persistent person who's coming in for you here. It's this person is not going to give up on you, I kind of get that energy off of them. And so I don't know what else to say about that. Maybe they ask you out, you say no, and they ask you out again. And so, it just kind of gives me that persistent type of feeling. And yeah, that's pretty much all I feel off the Knight of Cups. Definitely Knight in shining armor. A really good card for working on your dreams as well. He has this water flowing in front of him, and all he has to do is plant seeds in front of that water, and they will grow. So I feel for a lot of you, this could be, also you working on your dreams. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the star, your dream. The star is like having a North Star, having that one big wish, dream, goal, whatever, and working towards it. You being an air sign and Pluto going into Aquarius at the end of the year, November, I think it's an amazing time for people that just pick one big thing that they really want to accomplish, and everything you do should kind of point you in that direction. And that's exactly what I would do with the star. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about being enthusiastic. Again, another card that's come up quite a bit this week. It seems to me like the universe is trying to get people to be fearlessly adventurous. So the Page of Wands goes on adventure fearlessly. He's just excited for his journey, and he completes the journey because he just follows his excitement. And I think it's a great time for people to do that. I really feel the universe is trying to get everyone to live a more inspired life, meaning if you feel inspired to do something, you go and take action on it and you do it. So that's what I would do there. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, work hard, play hard. There's a need for balance right now as well. Everybody gets this as well. So what I would say is it's definitely one of those weeks that seems like a collective week. There are some differences, of course, but it just seems to me like the universe is kind of trying to get people to create balance. Trying to get people to not only work, trying to get people to also do other things that they enjoy, like fun things. Go have fun, go enjoy yourself, and you will be successful. The other thing I would say is focus right here. The Two of Pentacles is like spinning plates, trying to do too much. And I feel that with the Knight of Cups, it's saying, plant seeds in one idea and see if they grow. You have this retail card that says start a retail business selling products or services. You have this counselor that says a financial coach can help you reach your financial goals. You are definitely working on your finances. Five of Pentacles here. It is showing up in the good stuff. So I feel a lot of you are actively doing things to correct your finances or to make more money. You have the Four of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. The Four of Cups is about past disappointments, but coming up in the area of the good stuff, this would tell me that you are kind of finding some greener grass. The Four of Cups, outside of the good stuff can represent the grass, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. But I do feel you are going to be finding a much better situation for yourself. For years now, Libra, I think that your challenges have been in work. I think it's pretty simple looking at Libra's astrology that finding a job or a career or a business that really aligns with who you are has been a challenge. I think that, the other challenging thing for Libra is you probably get opportunities for to go on interviews and things like that for like the perfect job, but you just don't get it, right? And that's been the challenge. And I think that those days are over. So I think you need to start again, trying again, trying to get those perfect positions or whatever it is. You have the Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Seven of Cups is the big dream. He is dreaming of like good things and bad things in those cups, but he won't know like what the outcome is going to be until he manifests that dream on earth. The Five of Pentacles in the good stuff is saying that I feel like you finally have the resources necessary to bring a dream down to earth. It's like maybe you haven't had the money or the time or the effort or whatever for a very long time to manifest something, and now you're finally getting the resources you need. The Five of Pentacles also says that it would be a great time for you to focus on your strengths, and so I would make sure that you're focusing on what you're good at. Again, you've been on a long journey. We already know this because of the hummingbird spirit. And I feel like this reading is saying you're finally being rewarded for your long journey. You have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles can represent good news. This could even be like approval or getting a job, like we already said. I also feel this could be communication with a new person. So if you're looking for love, not really love reading, but there is a little bit of love here, and it could be a new person. With the Four of Cups, you have the Moon. This is like something you thought you would never get out of. It's like I think when we experience a cycle for too long, like you probably have here, that the Moon can say you've been wandering around darkness and fear and not being sure whether or not something is going to come through. And I feel like something is like finally coming through. With the Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles. Again, I like this because Page of Pentacles in the good stuff is progress. Outside of the good stuff, he's not really doing anything. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making any moves. So again, outside of the good stuff, this card can say that you are finally making moves. You are finally doing the things necessary to be successful. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Justice card and the Queen of Swords. So two cards again. You showing up again puts you in a position of power and strength. The Queen of Swords, I feel, is quite simply saying that you are finally seeing things clearly in your life, which is a good thing. It's like you can finally see maybe like the direction that you're going in or what you're trying to create. You have this wall card that says misunderstandings. I would be very careful of misunderstandings right now. We have a lot of planets going retrograde, and again, Mercury is going to go retrograde more at the end of the month, basically. We'll be in the shadow soon enough. So I would make sure that you are being very clear and very straightforward with your communications. You have this arrow. It says you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. We kind of said this, that you are going in the right direction. Four Wands, again, is like a finish line. You are completing something, and then you're continuing your journey. And, that's what you're doing. You have this apple. It says temptation will test you. Devil, I would be careful of any temptations, any bad habits. I would avoid those things. You have this June card and this fly. It says a period of ill health or depression. So I think that you're coming into a much happier time. Again, June was a little weird. I think it was a little emotional. And so you're just entering into a much better month. You have this fox. It says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Seven of Swords. I would make sure that you're coming up with like really good plans on the things that you're working on. This card is about, coming up with a plan and executing the plan. And that's going to lead to the most success in work or business for you here, Libra. But it's a pretty straightforward reading. Love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.